students behind me. So how are we feeling? Hi, morning. Oh, lovely. And a very warm Grenadian welcome to each and every one of you. My name is Abigail Ellis, Deputy CARICOM Youth Ambassador for Grenada, National Youth Ambassador, National Youth Coordinator for the Caribbean Youth Environment Network, Grenada chapter. It is my privilege to be moderating this morning's session, and it's even a greater privilege to see so many smiling faces before me. You look very sharp, you look lovely, and with that being said, I want you to turn to the person next to you and tell them something very nice. Compliment the person sitting next to you. Ah, beautiful. Now, doesn't that feel good? Yeah, sometimes we enter into rooms and spaces. We don't know the person sitting next to us. We may never introduce ourselves, and you miss the opportunity of meeting someone great or making someone's day great. So thank you for participating. Former president of Trinidad and Tobago, His Excellency Antony Carmona, honorary council members, board of directors of 195 in 365, distinguished guests, media, students, international media joining us via our live feed, and all other participants online, a hearty good morning again to you. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the 195 in 365. Now, yes, you've received an official invitation, but for the duration of this morning's program, you will be hearing and learning more of this very global impact initiative, which is a brainchild of sons and daughter of our trial and state, Grenada Carriacou and Petite Martinique. Before we commence, I would like to welcome to the podium Reverend Dr. James to acknowledge the presence of God in our midst. Shall we stand?
Let us pray. Creator God, you brought the earth into being and said it was good. You entrusted us as stewards of all that you made in the hope that we would care for and respect the created order. Forgive us, Lord, for we have used without replenishing, and we have ravaged and laid waste your creation. Creation is now in revolt as a direct result of our abuse. Lord, save us from ourselves. I pray that those who live in countries that consume a disproportionate amount of the world's resources would acknowledge and accept the harm their carbon footprint has caused, and would work to reduce the emission of greenhouse gases, and also compensate those countries who are most affected, especially small island nations for whom climate change is a present existential threat. I pray that today's event would set in motion a climatic momentum that will significantly impact and contribute to the reduction of our carbon footprint globally. May this year-long global journey successfully engage youth, world leaders, and organizations so that all may realize we are already experiencing a crisis of climatic proportion and therefore work assiduously to arrest the attrition our actions are having on the created order. Remind us, Lord, of our responsibility to preserve the earth for posterity and to live in respect with creation. We make this prayer to you as Lord of all creation. Amen.
Kindly remain standing. My apologies to those just getting the workout in this morning as we sing the national anthem. You may now be seated. I kindly ask that you turn your attention to the screen as we will have now a video introduction being played.
Grenada, the spice of the Caribbean. Our nutmeg, with many medicinal purposes and used in cuisine all around the world. The 195 and 365 initiative brings global attention to making a change.
Thank you very much to our technical team. Oh, when it's nice, you do it twice, I guess. Thank you very much to our technical team. I would like to now use this opportunity to introduce two outstanding, amazing individuals to this morning's audience. And I'll start with a young woman who is a dynamic 19-year-old climate activist from the beautiful Grenada, passionately committed to environmental advocacy and sustainable development. From an early age, she demonstrated her dedication to the environment by initiating a school recycling program at just 11 years old, organizing and managing the collection and delivery of recyclables. Her leadership skills continued to flourish as she spearheaded a composting initiative in her secondary school and became the environmental prefect. A certified diver, her commitment to marine conservation has been a driving force in her environmental journey. Her passion and hard work earned her a scholarship to the Oxford Royal Academy Summer Program in 2019, where her exposure to global environmental issues inspired her to launch 195 in 365 initiative alongside her father. I'm guessing you already know who that person is. This ambitious project aims to promote environmental awareness and action by engaging youth all around the world. In 2022, she represented Grenadian youth at COP27 in Egypt, advocating for global environmental responsibility. She has since been involved in numerous initiatives, including speaking at the Inter-American Court of Human Rights and participating in parliamentary debates in the Young Women's in Leadership program. Her dedication extends to her role as a teacher, where she empowers young people, some of them are behind me, to take action for a sustainable future. Her leadership in organizing nationwide Earth Day activities in Grenada further exemplifies her commitment to environmental advocacy and community engagement. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, put your hands together as I welcome to the podium Giovanna Hoscialik. Now, there's a second person who's also involved in this initiative, a founder, I might say. This individual is the father of 3 beautiful daughters. He is the visionary founder of 195 in 365, a groundbreaking global initiative dedicating to raising awareness about environmental challenges all around the world. As an environmentalist and adventurer, he has been dedicating his life to raising awareness about environmental challenges and he has also traveled extensively, immersing himself in diverse cultures and witnessing firsthand the pressing need for sustainable solutions. His passion for the environment is matched by his linguistic abilities as he speaks multiple languages, enabling him to connect with communities across the globe. His professional background is as dynamic as his environmental pursuit. With extensive experience in the hospitality industry, project management, and sales, he has been instrumental in introducing various products and services to new markets. His expertise has proven invaluable in advancing green initiatives and fostering sustainable practices. The 195 in 365 is a testament to his commitment to environmental advocacy. This ambitious project aims to, pardon my French, but this project aims to attend 195 countries within 365 days, mobilizing youth around the world to take action against climate change. By uniting environmental activists like yourself, scientists, experts, eco-warriors, journalists, and other vested parties, he's creating a global community dedicated to addressing climate change and promoting sustainable practices. The initiative's mission is to highlight not only the environmental challenges that we face, but also to propose solutions and success stories from different parts of the world. As a dedicated father, he values the importance of family and spends his free time surrounded by his loved ones. His personal commitment to sustainability is evident in his advocacy for making a change in relation to fighting global warming in multiple ventures. His leadership in 195 and 365 is driven by his desire to create a better future for his daughters and future generations. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, students all, shall you rise to your feet and join me in a round of applause if you can? Stand with me as I welcome none other than Johan Hoschjalik.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Let me bring my daughter by my side. Sweetie, come. Come with me. Come. Yes, I know I should be very formal and this should be the way that we conduct business. But that's not what the 195 and 365 initiative is. As you all saw earlier, we launched this initiative 3 years ago, exactly to this date. That's the reason for getting everybody together here for the next stage. But a little bit to our past and what the 195 initiative was and is. It was about 6 years ago that my daughter and myself sitting together, discussing the world, where we were, how bad things were, and what we could do about it. And that's where the idea as a father to his daughter said, sweetie, what about if we go around the world and ask the world to change? It took 3 years of research, etc., to get it there. We launched. And between launching exactly 3 years ago and now has been a phenomenal, not only experience, but personal growth for us as a father, as a daughter, as a human being in the planet that we are, in terms of engagement to one another to say, we really have to get everybody on board. I was thankful that shortly after we launched and us preparing to go around the world, etc., that the Minister of Environment saw what we are doing, asked my daughter to be the youth representative at COP. And I take the time and also the purpose of why we have this meeting here to the world in church, because this was a calling of faith. I found God saying to me, Johan, you need to make this bigger. You need to empower and include youth from all around the world so that together we can get the world to make the change that we so desperately needed. So I just want to quickly, and our dear colleague here, thank you first, has highlighted a bit of the things we've encountered on this journey. Giovanna, would you like to say one or two words before we show us where we're going for the next step?
Sure. This 3-year journey from our tiny initiative of I like to call it daddy-daughter trip around the world, to what it is now, bringing hope to youth everywhere. Because the state of our planet is dire, and nobody wants to lose their home. And that's why this initiative brings a sort of guiding light to those who are desperate, and we are excited for the next step.
Okay, so that said, the last 3 years, we've grown from a little father-daughter initiative to having many speaking engagements around the world at universities for different conferences, but not only speaking engagements, but engagements as in direct reef cleanups, doing many things together. And it was this part of our journey that we learned and experienced that, which was our logo and our motto of make a change, was something good. But it really needed to change because also for us, we've changed as people. And that's the reason why if we're asking others to change, we need to be the change first and foremost, not only for us, but for everybody, so that we can get the world together to say, let's do this, let's make it happen, and let's make the world a better place for one and all. So we'll talk again later, but thank you.
Let us put our hands together for them once more. And as they stated, yes, climate change, global warming, this is our lived realities. I'm not sure how many of you would have experienced a hurricane or an earthquake, or realize that your friends, your families, your coworkers, they're the ones who are currently having to be displaced as a result. We have climate migration. So thank you so much for pouring your heart into this. We can feel your passion, and we would be joining you and supporting you in this initiative, and everyone else in this room as well. Do I have an amen? Okay, yeah, I got a thumbs up. Thank you. We will now be receiving a speech from Mr. Osman Griffith, who will be doing an intro to travel around the world. But a little bit about Mr. Stanley Griffith. Mr. Osman Stanley Griffith, he is a decorated maritime security and law enforcement specialist with over 3 decades of distinguished service in national, regional, and international security. A retired superintendent and former commanding officer of the Grenada Coast Guard, Mr. Griffith has dedicated his career to advancing maritime law enforcement, disaster preparedness, and regional security cooperation. His vast portfolio includes service as a UN peacekeeper in Haiti, policy-level advisory roles within the Caribbean, and current consultancy work with the United Nations Office on Drug and Crime under its Global Maritime Crime Program, with deployments across Africa, the Indian Ocean, and the Gulf of Guinea. Mr. Griffith is widely respected for his expertise in small boat operations, maritime border security, search and rescue, and international law enforcement collaboration. A product of the Grenada Boys Secondary School, he holds an extensive list of certifications, diplomas from institutions such as the US Coast Guard, the US Navy, UK Royal Navy, IMO, FBI, and the Chartered Management Institute. His accolades include the United Nations Service Medal and the Officer of the Order of the British Empire, OBE, awarded in 2019 for his contributions to policies and international affairs. Known for his leadership, mentorship, and training abilities, Mr. Griffith continues to support maritime capacity building efforts worldwide. Without further ado, put your hands together as we welcome Mr. Griffith to the podium.
Thank you very much. You make me sound like Superman. Anyway, Johan and I go back a long way. And when this initiative came up, Johan sought me out and said, look, Griff, because lots of people, I have a lot of different names. My name is Osman Stanley Griffith, but I have a lot of names. I have Osman, who only family calls me that. I have Griff, who normally people all call me Griff. Then I have Stars, who the community calls me. When I'm at work, they call me by my rank. But the thing, I will answer to any name that you call me once I know you're addressing me. Okay? And the accolades that I get, it does not mean a lot to me personally, but is what I give. And being asked to be the leader of the convoy leader is a big honor, because I'm retired and I was hoping that I would just go back home and go in my garden and plant corn and peas and stuff like that and do things. But this is a calling. This is a calling. And when you call to serve, and when you serve for a lot of years, you know what it is to give back. And a lot of us, sometimes we just go into obscurity after retirement and never give back nothing. I don't believe that I should go and die and don't give back anything. The knowledge I have and the expertise I have should be shared, and that's why I still share it. That's why I still teach. That's why I still mentor. And as I say, it's not about me. My task will be bringing people together from different places, from different perspectives, different ideologies, but with a common purpose. And I always tell people, one of the things about leadership is that first, the good leaders, you had to be able to follow. I followed for a lot of years, and I understand what it is about following. So I can come on the ground and understand I didn't come from the top. Once you understand how to follow, it is the root of leading, because you don't ever think that you're too much. You've been there, you've been following, let's lead people. My job will be one, I say it's a difficult one. It's going to have its challenges. I am not saying that I have all the answers, but as a leader, you have to know where to find the answers. Even though you don't have it at the time, find the people who have the answers, and that is the genesis of it. Now, this is a quest, this is a noble cause. This is something that we on the right side of history doing. It's on the right side of history. And I am here, you see me now, as I tell you, don't look at too much of my accolades. Look at me as Griff, as Stars, as something like that. Someone who is looking to lead something from this little country. From this little country of Grenada, we're a small country, but we, at the end of this, we will have a big footprint and given back. So ladies and gentlemen, this is me. I can't stand up here and talk all day because I could, but I am here and I've given myself to service and to continue serving the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Griffith, or probably Stanley, or probably one of the many names that you have. Thank you for your leadership, and thank you for partnering with 195 in 365, even though you could be planting corn and peas, like you said. We do appreciate you, sir. We will now look at a video, and this video would be a call for global members to join our operations team. So cast your eyes on the screen as the video is played.
Hi, I'm Johan Hashtian, founder and CEO of 195 in 365 initiative. The world is at a tipping point. Climate change, resource depletion, and environmental collapse are no longer future threats. They're happening now. 2024 was the hottest year on record. Wildfires, droughts, and hurricanes displacing millions. And we've lost over 70% of biodiversity in just 50 years. We're losing forests at high rates, more than the size of Switzerland annually. The crisis is real, but so is hope. Across 195 countries, people are creating solutions. The challenge is connecting and scaling them. And that's exactly what 195 and 365 is here to do. The 195 and 365 initiative is on a mission to visit every country in the world in 1 year, uncovering and amplifying real sustainability solutions. We are spotlighting solutions, driving policy change, and building a global network of action-driven leaders. But none of this happens without the people behind the scenes. So we're looking for individuals who are not only passionate about sustainability, but also capable of managing the complexities of a global initiative. This is an opportunity to help build global sustainability networks and to make a tangible impact in every country we visit. If you have the skill, the dedication, and the passion for making real change happen, send us your application by scanning the QR code. This is your chance to be part of a movement that's shaping the future of our planet.
Thank you. And we do trust our attendees online. They've scanned the code, and if not, you can always reach out to Mr. Hoshialik, who would make it available. I do believe it will become available on all their social media platforms, websites, etc., because we do need your partnership. We do look forward to your collaboration. As it was said in the video, this is a movement. It's not a little science project. It's not a little club. It's a movement that has been created, that is emerging from this little rock called Grenada. We will now hear from someone from the differently abled community on the challenges faced. Ms. Hazel Bonaparte is a qualified teacher attached to the St. George's SDA Primary School for the past 25 years. She's passionate about her students and firmly believes that every child can learn. She's the mother of a beautiful 14-year-old Form 2 student at the St. George's Institute who was diagnosed with cerebral palsy secondary to severe jaundice at birth. Her daughter has defied medical and educational odds, and she believes that once a child is given the support and the tools, that child can strive. Mrs. Bonaparte is an advocate not only for her daughter, but for all students who are differently abled. She firmly believes in inclusivity. Let us put our hands together as we welcome Mrs. Bonaparte.
Good morning, everybody. Today, I stand before you with a simple but powerful message. We must embrace children and people with disabilities and ensure they are fully included in every part of our communities. Too often, disability is seen as a limitation. But the truth is, disability is not inability. People with disabilities are not broken. They are brilliant in their own ways. They have dreams, talents, and the potential to change the world just like anyone else. But potential can only grow where there is acceptance. Inclusion means more than just being present. It means being welcomed, valued, and given equal opportunities to learn, play, work, and live without barriers. Let me be clear. Inclusion is not charity. It's justice. It's about creating a world where every child, every person, regardless of their physical, cognitive, or emotional differences can thrive. When we design schools that accommodate diverse learning needs, when we build playgrounds that every child can enjoy, when we offer jobs based on talent rather than labels, we move closer to a society that truly sees everyone. My daughter presently enjoys inclusive education at St. George's University, and she had the opportunity to do that at the pre-primary and primary level. We need to do more so that our children can receive support wherever they are. She was actually taught by Giovanna Hostialik, sitting right there at the Form 1 level. There are teachers who are making accommodations presently for our students, while others may need more support and a change in mindset. We need to make a change. Inclusion enriches us all. It teaches us empathy, patience, innovation, and strength. When children grow up learning alongside those who are different from them, they grow up to become adults who are more compassionate, more accepting, and more prepared to lead in a diverse world. So I challenge each of us, parents, educators, leaders, and citizens to do more. Let's advocate for inclusive policies. Let's support families with children who have disabilities. Let's listen to their voices and learn from their experiences. Let's build a world where no child ever feels that they're on the outside looking in. Together, we can create a future that doesn't just include everyone, it celebrates everyone. I want us to remember we are the change. Let us make a change as we look at this video. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Bonaparte. Put your hands together again. And I must say that I appreciate that you said inclusion is not charity, because oftentimes we see it as such. But of course, in 195 and 365, that would not be the case. We will now have a video played, which would be our call for members of the differently abled community.
Hi, I'm Johan Hostiale, founder and CEO of the 195 and 365 initiative. This initiative is a journey of impact, connection, and global collaboration. We are visiting every nation in the world, addressing the urgent climate challenges of our time. And we need a strong, dynamic, and inclusive operations team to make it happen. As we move forward, we want to ensure that our team truly represents the diversity of our global community. That's why we are actively inviting individuals with disabilities. Those who are blind, low vision, visually impaired, deaf or hard of hearing, those with physical disabilities, wheelchair users, prosthetics, limited mobility, and those with hidden neurodiverse disabilities, learning disabilities, and psychosocial disabilities to join us. Your unique experiences, perspective, and skills will enrich this journey in ways that only you can bring. Being part of the operation team means helping to coordinate logistics, ensuring smooth transitions from one country to the next, and problem solving in real time. Whether you have expertise in planning, communication, accessibility, advocacy, or technology, we have a place for you. Our journey is built on the principle that every voice matters and every person has something valuable to contribute. We are committed to creating an inclusive and supportive environment where accessibility is not enough, but a core principle. So if you have a passion for making a difference and want to be part of something extraordinary, we encourage you to apply. Let's build a team that truly reflects the world we are working to improve.
Okay, there was a call for the differently abled community. We will now be hearing again from Mr. Johan Hostialik, who will be speaking to us, especially a call for collaboration. So he will be delivering, ay Dios mío, I don't know why my English is failing me this morning, but he would be delivering a speech, which is a call for collaborators. Mr. Hostialik.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, bonjour, buenos dias, buongiorno, and all of these other languages, especially to our international audience. The reason I've said these languages was this is a global initiative. Yes, it's grounded and it started here in Grenada. But if we want change, we need to get everybody on board. It is about how do we change the planet fundamentally, and how do we empower youth everywhere to say, and to fall the rallying cry to say, let's do this together. Thus, as you've seen previously when we talked about from our ops team, that we're looking for individuals who have the wherewithal to say, I know what it takes to change this planet. I know and I can make it happen. I have that gusto. I have that burning passion and the belief that I want a better world. Now I'm going to pause a second. As we've said previously, I'm a father of 3 girls. That's what drives me. You know, if a thief were to be coming to your house or somebody trying to kill your family, you would do whatever it takes to stop them. The world is headed in a direction, but it is going, even though faster now, slowly that we don't see it. But as parents, once we understand what is out there, we would do whatever it takes to make that happen. But it is also at the same time the empowerment of the youth, the empowerment and the collaboration with others in the same sort of field together to say, let's get everybody on board. Let's collaborate together. Let's get those who are making a difference on board to showcase the great job they are doing in their own countries together. And for the people out there, you know, who say, yeah, I would love to help. I believe I could do something for the planet. Please, this is our call to you to say, come, let us all come together. Because I want to say this, that regardless whether you are rich or you are poor, whether you're black or you're white, whether you're American or you're African, Muslim or Christian, we all belong to one planet. And we are all members of one race, the human race. And we all have to come together to make this world a better place. And I know when the collectivity of humanity can do such a thing, there's nothing that can stop us from making this planet a better place. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hostialik. We will now look at the video, which would be the call for collaboration and volunteers.
The world is changing. And so we are visiting 195 countries with one mission: to restore, regenerate, and reimagine a more sustainable future for all. We are coming to your country. To the individuals making a difference in their communities, your actions matter. Whether you're planting a single tree or leading a movement, your impact is real. Share your journey. Stand with us. To the volunteers dedicating time and energy to a better planet, we see you. You are the heartbeat of change. Join us. Let's amplify your efforts together. To the civil society organizations tirelessly working for a sustainable future, your work is crucial. The world needs to hear your voice. Share the stage with us. Broadcast your mission. Let's create a global wave of impact. To the businesses creating products that heal rather than harm, innovation is your power. Let's showcase your solutions to a global audience. Sustainability isn't a trend. It's the future. And together, we can and will shape it. This is more than a campaign. This is a movement, a global call to action. Your stories matter. Your work deserves to be seen. Your impact can inspire millions. Join us. Stand up. Share your voice. 195 countries, 365. One planet, one mission. Will you answer the call?
The question is, will you answer the call? In 3 weeks' time, when the applications are launched, etc., the portals are open on our websites, on the social media platforms, will you be joining students? Yeah? Okay, so I see one hand up. Giovanna, you better start talking to the parents. Anybody in the audience? Are we, yeah? Okay, lovely. That's what I like to see. Thank you so much for pledging. And we do appreciate that because it will take the efforts of everyone to get this movement off the ground. We will now be witnessing a very symbolic action, which is the signing of a memorandum of understanding with 2 Global South region. I kindly ask Mr. Johan to join me on stage, as well as Giovanna. Okay, so Mr. Hoshialik will give brief remarks regarding the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding.
Thank you very much. I don't like to. Oopsie daisy. I think we lost Zoom for a second, but hopefully we're back shortly. The signing that we're about to witness here is more of a symbolic endeavor. We have spent the last 3 years, as I previously mentioned, building a global alliance of organizations everywhere. And I mean, literally thousands of meetings, thousands of organizations all around the world, everybody saying, yay, let's do this together, let's change the planet. I purposely chose to get 2 of the world's largest organizations, one from Africa and one from India, to have this signing from the Global South. Because as much as this is a global initiative, it is also a globally South-led initiative. And it is us from the Global South that are saying to the Global North and everybody on a whole, guys, we need to work together. We would like to show you all the challenges that we are facing here and how together we can make a difference, and we will make a difference when we get all the parties together on board to make this difference. So we're about to see a symbolic signing where we here will be signing in Grenada, and simultaneously they will be signing in India and signing in Africa, in Morocco to be more specific. But from the 2 organizations and the 2 persons here joining us will also be speaking to their organization, so people could get a feel that, look, it is a much bigger thing than just 195 and 365. It is all of humanity, especially the youth, coming together saying, let's change this planet for a better one. Thank you. If we could now link in with our Indian counterparts, would be greatly appreciated. Can you all hear us?
Yes. Yes.
Right. Okay, you all could speak now.
Yeah. So this is Dharmanand, campaign manager, Youth for Water Plus campaign, Odisha. This is back in Odisha. So basically, Youth for Water Plus campaign is a youth-led initiative, was launched in 2019 Odisha. It focuses on young people in activities related to water sanitation, hygiene, and climate change. The campaign works in collaboration with government of Odisha, UN agency, civil society organization, and corporate partners. With support from over 40 partner organizations, it has reached more than 5 lakh youth, young people all over. So we have been working under thematic area water conservation, disaster risk resilience, biodiversity, responsible consumption, green skilling, and energy conservation. So these themes are aligned with sustainable development goals, and so far we have made many achievements like oriented 1,72 youth through vast guardian training modules, raise awareness on climate change. So, like in 6,000 youths have got set a national hand washing record washing day in 2022. Through community radio, we have reached 45,000 sheep, and likewise 300 youth have we have created a platform for 300 youth who have been participated in conference of Odisha Conference of Youth. It's a residential program, and submitted policy papers to the government and on climate change, and large major activities like water bodies rejuvenation, focusing on community ponds, and accelerated many state level. We have conducted pond conferences like in and booklet and pond story have been featured by youth. So on their socio-economic and political aspects, cultural aspects. And we have organized many like heatwave campaign, and that this ban has reached to many locations and with the government of Odisha. And during last monsoon also, we have planted 50,000 saplings through our partner organizations all over the Odisha. And this plugging activities we have, it is a regular phenomenon like cleaning up water bodies, ocean, and as well as so more than 2,000 youths are continuously contributing their time for plugging. And we have also young leaders. We have collaborated with consulate, U.S. Consulate General Hyderabad, and young leaders are it's a 9-month journeying program and partnership with nurturing grassroots climate leadership. And so Youth for Water Plus extends influence and internationally many conferences, UN conferences, conference of party, and our youths are participating in different. And so thank you, Johan and Johan, for your huge, both daughter and father taking the bold step on climate uh, uh, change and lives of people you have been working. And this, it's a huge appreciation to both of you and for the bold step and your journey. I appreciate. And this, particularly this collaboration, definitely will sustain and will continue and will give a big message to all over the world. And we have signed, and thank you very much for giving this opportunity. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
I don't want to butcher your name too much, and forgive me, but Dharamanda. I wanted to thank you very much and would like to now do the symbolic signing with him of our memorandum of understanding for collaboration as we get over the 500,000 members and others in India involved together to say, let's change the planet. Okay.
you.
Thank you very much. And now if we could get my colleague Saad, from Morocco in Africa to connect so we could do the symbolic signing with him. I see him there, great. If you would be so kind to just tell the folks all around the world a little bit about your organization and over the 1 million members all throughout Africa, please.
Greetings, morning, afternoon, evening, everyone from Mother Africa. It is a great moment of happiness to see this milestone happening, and it's a pleasure to be part of this as African young person. In the past 5 years, I've been with the African Youth Initiative on climate change, working with other African young people from 54 countries on how can we as young people address our continent's major climate issues. What I learned in my organization is how we all have the same problems, how people in different countries all over the world are vulnerable and facing the severe consequences of climate change. And that by uniting each other as young people and by supporting and working together, we can exchange knowledge, we can exchange wisdom, we can exchange lessons and best practices and work together to help each other solve what adults are causing to us, which is climate change. Today's initiative that we are taking part of is a great potential, which brings up the spirit of humanity, of uniting young people all over the world, us bringing together our potential and following that same spirit of unity and humanity will be the hope and will be the message that young people will share to the world. And as AYIC, it's a pleasure for us to be part of this initiative. Over 1 million members that we have in 54 African countries are working in the ground in their communities, raising people's awareness, helping vulnerable populations to recover from the consequences of climate change, working on mitigation and adaptation measures, working on capacity development for young people and for communities to help them work on reevaluating their natural resources and leading advocacy campaigns in the national level and even in the regional level to influence decision makers. For example, young people in the DRC have been able to stop government contracts with oil companies to destroy the Congo forest, and many other examples of young people being in the front lines and leading climate action. And this, hearing those stories, gives us hope that change is possible. And as AYIC, we believe in this spirit of change and we believe in this unity. And this is why we hope that this initiative will be able to unite young people from all over the world and spread that message that our generation will bring the change that the world has been waiting for. We thank you again for your presence and for making this happen. And as African young people, we look forward for the change that we will be bringing to the world and to try to save our planet together. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my brother. And I forgot to say, initially when we started, I should have been saying, Barakallahu Fik. Yeah. You know, my little bit of Moroccan. I wish you the best, and I would look forward to do the symbolic signing with you now. As we say together, let's change the planet together. Thank you. Thank you very much. Shukran, my friend. Okay.
Applause for the symbolic signing. And we do trust and hope that other organizations from other parts of the world will too, sign on to be a part of this global initiative. I do believe it's a fitting time that we hear from our keynote speaker. Our keynote speaker is none other than His Excellency Antony Carmona. His Excellency Carmona is a distinguished international jurist, statesman, and the former president of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago within the years of 2013 to 2018, whose lifelong career reflects an unwavering commitment to global justice, human rights, environmental sustainability, and equitable development. A seasoned quote-unquote global villager, President Carmona has represented Trinidad and Tobago and the wider Caribbean at the highest levels across diplomatic, legal, humanitarian, and environmental platforms. His extensive global engagements have included participation in and contributions to key regional and international workshops, forums, and conferences alongside diplomats, technocrats, economists, scientists, and government officials. With a legal career rooted in international criminal justice, His Excellency Carmona has served with distinction as appeals counsel in the Office of the Prosecutor at the International Criminal Tribunal for the former Yugoslavia and International Criminal Tribunal for Rwanda, and as a judge of the International Criminal Court, ICC. These roles offered him a front row seat to the tragic consequences of state failure, human rights violation, and systematic injustice, fueling his advocacy for peace building, institutional reform, and accountability. He is a long-standing champion for climate justice, especially on behalf of small island developing states, also known as SIDS, and has spent more than a decade advocating for the establishment of an international environmental court. In his keynote address to the United Nations Environmental Assembly in Nairobi, Kenya, 2016, he passionately called for a global judicial body empowered to hold violators and environmental law accountable and to safeguard vulnerable ecosystems and populations. President Carmona's tenure was marked by transformative leadership focused on fairness, integrity, and the inclusion of marginalized voices. He prioritized gender justice and was instrumental in breaking historic and colonial barriers by appointing capable, competent women of integrity to high-level public positions. As head of parliament, he encouraged political parties to integrate the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, which are known as our SDGs, into their national agendas, recognizing them as the cornerstone of lasting peace and prosperity. In his global advocacy, His Excellency Carmona has aligned with international organizations, including the World Humanitarian Drive, Federation of World Peace and Love, Universal Peace Federation, and the World Chief Justices Conference. He has been a driving force behind initiatives promoting peace, fair trade, environmental action, and the rule of law. Notably, his efforts led to the United Nations General Assembly Declaration of April 5th as the International Day of Conscience. His global voice extends to economic reform, where he called for a radical re-evaluation of the global financial architecture, particularly the policies of the IMF and World Bank that have perpetuated debt trap for the global South nations. He continues to advocate for a fair, just, and inclusive global trade system that prioritizes people and the planet over profit. His advocacy portfolio is expansive and includes judicial innovation, restorative justice, biodiversity protection, youth and women's empowerment, water and food security, ocean governance, disability justice, public health, and the prevention of drug trafficking and money laundering. His Excellency is a firm believer in succession planning, as he is especially passionate about youth empowerment, declaring the student of today is the executive of tomorrow. And I believe that. His ongoing commitment to youth inclusion ensures the next generation is equipped to lead with conscience and compassion. Alongside his distinguished public service, Mrs. Rima Carmona, former First Lady of Trinidad and Tobago, is an internationally recognized humanitarian health and wellness advocate and champion for persons with disabilities. Together, Their Excellencies Antony and Rima Carmona remain dedicated to a shared mission, fostering global peace, justice, sustainability, and dignity for all. They continue to engage in international discussions and partnership, offering vision, leadership, and solution-oriented strategies to advance environmental responsibility and intergenerational equity. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming to the platform His Excellency Antony Carmona.
Good morning, everyone. And I am just astounded by what you have been able to accomplish, Johan, because I'm speaking to the world. And there is no greater opportunity to change lives when you are given the opportunity to speak to the world. Mr. Johan Hoshtialik, and of course his lovely daughter, you who have in fact been a tour de force in the context of intra and intergenerational responsibility. I can say it was just a phenomenal experience meeting you. It's been a very, very long time I have met an individual who, in my view, is a tour de force for humanity. Someone, in fact, with heart and with passion, commitment and professionalism. And it is basically great to know that we are doing this out of Grenada, a small island in the global south. And I envisage, in fact, that this island is like a mouse that will roar, that will send a message that is intractable with the necessary bite. Again, in fact, I must recognize, in fact, Linus Ishmael, another activist, our friend from England, and the executive of this noble initiative, including your daughter and family, because of course I can tell persons that, it is so important to have the support of family when you are engaged in this universal advocacy. So soldier on, as we say in Spanish, vaya adelante. And I really, really you have my unstinted support with this very proficient, impacting advocacy, 195 in 365. Ladies and gentlemen, and of course, in fact, a very important climate activist I see there is my friend Steve. Continue to do the great work that you're doing. And, it's the quality of the persons that are here. Mr. Philip, who has demonstrated, in my view, remarkable service. And I have, in fact, been quite adamant in Trinidad and throughout the world to indicate that when, in fact, you are in the corridors of power, it is not about power, it is about service. And that service must always trump power in dispensing your responsibilities and duties. The technology of the fourth industrial revolution must be harnessed through systemic global education and processes to trigger the type of global sustainability network that addresses the collective concerns of humanity and not the selfish interests of the few. And of course, in that regard, I just need to give a special hail up to the students of Grenada. You all are, in fact, the potential powerhouse of Grenada, but more particularly of the Caribbean region. Leaders must establish humanity at all times. They must establish and guarantee an enabling environment that will allow countries to include global goals and sustainability components in their strategic developmental documents. Leaders must therefore refocus and embrace a human philosophy as part of an ongoing strategy that the sovereignty of the peoples of the world be given paramount consideration in the light of our very concerning, diminishing global resources and evolving crises. There are UN conventions, protocols, declarations, which envisage a better and greater world that lay dormant and are not operationalized because of governmental indifference and apathy at the national, regional, and international level. But then the stewardship of some global leaders are often known for its inaction, failed promises, implementation deficit, and a dire lack of vision. Globally, we are desperately in need of leadership that truly delivers. The right things are always being said, and the wrong things are always being done. Sustainability and its operationalization for all global leaders must be an imperative for the continued existence and prosperity of every nation state. I feel so deeply about the impacting influence of sustainability as a way of life that I recall an instance some years ago when, as head of state, I was addressing parliamentarians from all sides of the political divide during the ceremonial opening of the Trinidad and Tobago Parliament. I challenged them all to put their political party manifestos in the proverbial dustbin and adopt wholesale the 17 Sustainable Development Goals as their national development roadmap, in keeping with their social contract with the populace to pursue and realize the common good on behalf of each citizen. As head of state, I visited some 24 secondary schools in 1 year, advocating that the 17 developmental goals should be a component in every subject taught at the school, for our very survival is at stake. We, as the Caribbean people, as citizens of the global South, need to seize the time, and we are doing so now by launching an action plan of salvation, even redemption, by way of this remarkable and visionary initiative of Johan Hostialik in the form of the 195in365 initiative. As people from a small island development states, we have always had that intrinsic capacity, that probing intellect, the unrivaled competence, and the vision. But we have been hamstrung with governance models and democracy that at times are not enabling as it should be, with sometimes a skewed obsession with mediocrity, where at times we put mediocre performers in exceptional positions, expecting exceptional results, which are simply not forthcoming. However, there's a panacea in our young people. I stare you in the eye, knowing that you can make not a difference, but the difference. That you can go beyond the plaster and saw solutions of some of those who govern us in the Caribbean region. Our young people must and can be our salvation, can take up that intergenerational and intragenerational responsibility. But you all need a progressive, equitable, and fair socio-economic environment. And most of all, the tools, an education system and curricula consisting of critical thinking, invention, technology, innovation, with sustainability at its core. Ours is a system in need of rapid overhaul and recalibration, one that is sustaining, genuinely empowering, and real, connected to the tenets and transformational power of multilateralism, and relevant connected to the exigencies, urgencies, and demands of now, not only tomorrow. I raise multilateralism because it is under attack. And we as an organization need to engage it in a manner that will keep it relevant and connected at all times. Johan, you're a veritable gladiator in the trenches of fighting to preserve our planet. Sustainability as a concept has assumed untold dimensions never before in the light of the myriad challenges facing humanity. None, however, beckons more than climate change, or rather climate catastrophe. It is the axis of an impending human crisis that we can ill afford. We need, therefore, to be honest with ourselves by adhering to the rigor of conscience to find our way in the context of our environmental imperative. Through the voice of conscience, we can be disciples of right and contemner of wrongs. A guiding conscience remains the bulwark of economic and social sustainability by ensuring that doing right remains the only option when confronting all environmental challenges and crises. A conscience tells the doubting soul to do the right thing because it is the right thing to do. Sustainability in the context of social and national development has an individual and collective component. And when there is a dynamic supporting interaction among these two, the nation state prosper. Sustainable development is about engaging environmental, social, and economic components envisaged by the UN Sustainable Development Agenda 2030. Regrettably, we must now get into the palliative business of saving us from ourselves. Mother Earth yawns in anguish at the environmental and ecosystemic aberrations inflicted upon her with impunity. We can no longer depend solely on the voluntary action or self-regulation of nation states or corporate entities to save our planet. It is in this connection that I wish to reference and suggest a global law regime with global law regulations to arrest this ongoing environmental impunity taking place. And that is by the way of the establishment of an environmental court, the IEC. Global law as defined by the Global Law Forum, and I quote, is a system of principles, norms, and technological solutions aimed at the formation of global governance for sustainable development and the realization of global human rights, end of quote. The IEC has become mandatory as a means of deterrence, for it will mitigate the debilitating impact of human activity on our physical environment, our forests, our fauna, and flora. When it comes to environmental degradation, biodiversity protection, pollution, climate crimes, and judicial sanctions, the IEC will not allow nation states to hide behind a veneer of sovereignty. It will also culture responsibilities and obligations for nation states and transnational companies, and will invariably encourage countries to embrace global goals in their national policy and strategic documents. We need the sanctioning power of a court to stem the tide of ecological wrongdoing. The IEC's jurisdictional mandate will save the physical integrity of vulnerable states suffering the scourge of this climate emergency. The United Nations General Assembly adopted Resolution A/71L58, requesting an advisory opinion from the International Court of Justice on the obligation of states concerning climate change. What is interesting is the genesis of this resolution. It was an initiative by students in Vanuatu, like yourselves, here today. And their government was influenced and joined ranks with them. And as a result, 193 countries at the UN came on board. And what is noteworthy and critical to this is the scientists were not left out, as often takes place in governance throughout the world. In order for this resolution to pass, the United Nations utilized scientific reports emanating from the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. Now, an advisory opinion, though very persuasive, will not have the jurisdictional clout or the force of law, for the ICJ cannot impose sanctions or impose penalties on any state or transnational company for its climate impunity. The International Criminal Court in the main has no power to interfere because it does not possess that jurisdictional reach. It has a specific jurisdictional mandate. And in any event, that juridical body that I was part of does not have the specialized scientific and environmental expertise to deal with climate change violations. What is required is a permanent statute-based IEC to adjudicate on egregious environmental violations and impunity. I need to remind you all, just like with the ICC, the law of complementarity can be utilized effectively. COP30 in Brazil is therefore perfect for advancing the establishment of the International Environmental Court, because there is a subsistent, numerically strong international climate change consensus. And when fortified by hopefully the still pending ICJ's Commission advisory opinion, the Sixth Committee and the International Law Commission can get to work laying the groundwork for a statute and the creation of the IEC. The United Nations customary threshold requirement is therefore very achievable. Finally, over the years, we have witnessed the ravages of climate change, whether it be record high temperatures and virulent fires in the global north, or devastating hurricanes, flooding, sea erosion, and other severe weather patterns in the global south. And they are all compromising many nation states' ability and capacity to achieve the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. Given the slow pace of environmental redemption, I wonder whether leaders have sensitized their populace, adopting a consultative and educational approach as to why it is necessary to reduce global temperatures by 1.5 degrees Celsius to pre-industrial levels in combating climate change. If this happens, the average citizen would conceivably be made aware and take ownership of the dialogue on climate change, and would require of their governments to do what is needed to give effect to their national determined contributions and other obligations following from the Paris Climate Change Agreement and the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. Such an informed dialogue, I submit, would go a long way in mobilizing climate finance to address matters related to loss and damage, adaptation, mitigation, and other climate-related issues. It would thus provide a rational environment, giving impetus to governments in the global north to include in their national budgets the requisite resources for climate finance, with the confidence that their citizens are fully behind them. More importantly, that developing countries are not seeking handouts, but are receiving climate finance on globally agreed terms. Pivotal, a necessary force in the journey towards actualizing the positives of sustainability are the initiatives of the NGO. Thank you very much. 195 in 365. I repeat to the world at large, 195 in 365 is such a game-changing solution-oriented initiative coming out of small Grenada. You see, ladies and gentlemen, non-governmental organizations often act as the barometer of social conscience in a society, filling the gaps where there is institutional indifference and apathy. NGOs advocate effectively for positive change, facilitating essential developmental efforts and increasing the accountability and legitimacy of institutions. NGOs like yourself, with oversight and the pursuance of this mandate, can assist in restoring the moral compass of state agencies and governments and rejuvenate the economic conscience of corporate entities by ensuring adherence to the triple bottom line philosophy where people, profits, and planet are given due consideration. Finally, it is therefore critical that NGOs like yourself, like 195 and 365, and I'm assured this is so, maintain its independence, free and independent from political interference, influence, or persuasion, guided always by a social conscience, and more importantly, by a universal social contract to create a just, humane, and equitable world. I thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Let us put our hands together again for His Excellency Carmona. And with a riveting keynote speech like that, all we can say is thank you. Thank you for the very stark reminder, and thank you for standing with 195 and 365. I now invite to the podium Ms. Giovanna Hoshialik, who will do the introduction to the launch of the youth video.
A pleasant good morning, afternoon, and evening to all who are here with us physically and all who are listening online. I'll admit, I've never really been a speech giver, never have, probably never truly will be, but today is a very, very special day. So I'd like to start off by asking all of you to just take a look around you, just for a moment, look at your surroundings. This is our world. This is our home, and it's crying out. Oceans are dying, forests are burning, inequality is growing. And yet, in the face of all of it, something powerful is rising too, us. Today, I stand before you all not to point fingers, but to raise hands. Hands that are ready to build, to heal, and to lead. The truth is simple. If we do not take a stand, who will? If not now, when? We, the youth, are not the leaders of tomorrow. We are the leaders of now. We are not just the voices in the background. We are the voice of change. Every great movement in history has been sparked by the courage of young minds. From civil rights to climate marches, to revolutions that redefined nations. It was youth who stood first, who stood loudest, and who stood proud. And we should be proud. Proud not just of our age, but of our power. Because within each of us lies something unstoppable. Vision, innovation, a fire. We are not the generation of silence. We are the generation of solutions. This is our movement, not just to speak, but to act. Whether you are 13 or 35, your voices matter. Your ideas matter. Your choices matter. This world isn't waiting for someone older. It is waiting for you. So I am calling on every young person listening. Rise. Rise with your talent. Rise with your passion. Rise with your refusal to accept that this is just the way that things are. Rise not because it is easy, but because it is necessary. Together, we can rewrite the future, a greener future, a fairer future, a future where compassion and courage lead the way. We can't wait for permission. We are the permission. We are the movement. We are the hope. We are the change. We are the 195 in 365. Be the change. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Young people, you've heard it from not just your teacher, but the youth herself. And to the elders, I would say you've heard it from a youth yourself. I trust you have a renewed sense of urgency. I see Mr. Maxime smiling. Yes, you're a youth as well, I guess, Mr. Maxime. At this time, we will have the call for youth representatives video be displayed.
And I want to talk to you about something that affects all of us, our planet's future. Right now, the world is facing challenges we can't ignore. Climate change, pollution, food insecurity, but we also have solutions. And that's where we come in, the 195 in 365 initiative. 195 in 365 is a global movement traveling to every single country in the world. Yes, all 195 of them in just 1 year. Our mission? To listen, learn, and share real solutions to the environmental and social challenges we face because of climate change. We're working alongside governments, activists, and everyday people making a difference. And we need young leaders like you to be the voice of your country. We would have your travel expenses, food, accommodation, and the per diem covered if you're between the ages of 18 and 35, passionate about sustainability, and believe that you and your country have ideas worth sharing. This is your chance to step up. We're looking for youth representatives, people to amplify their community's voices. So if you're between 18 and 35, passionate about sustainability, and believe that you and your country have ideas worth sharing, this is your chance to step up. We're looking for youth representatives, people to amplify the voice of their communities on a global stage. Take on this journey with us. This isn't just some trip. It's about making an impact, learning from the world, and bringing solutions back home. We need bold, committed voices willing to stand up and be counted. If this sounds like you, grab your phone, scan the QR code, record your answer, and send the video to us. The time for action is now. Will you join us?
The time for action is now. So, will you? I'm not convinced. Will you join us? Now that's more like it. Small island, big impact. We've heard that all morning, but we also have to believe it. We have to sound like it, because let me tell you, when you go to the bigger stages, we're always minority in the rooms. I know His Excellency can tell you that. The Caribbean, the Pacific Islands, we're always minority. But with a global initiative like 195 in 365, Grenada, small island developing states will no longer be the minority in rooms and in spaces, because they would be the ones who are pushing the change, who are pushing boundaries. With Johan at the helm and Giovanna, together with the rest of directors who are here, you can take a bow and know that you're doing something that is so big the world has never seen before. We have finally come to the end of our program. But to say thank you, I would like to invite Mr. Hoshialik one last time, who will deliver the vote of thanks.
Well, good afternoon once more. My last bow here. What a journey this has been, yeah? Oh my gosh. And we haven't even really gotten started yet, guys. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. First and foremost, I really want to say thank you, Lord, for the inspiration, for the courage, for the ability to hold true in the difficult times. And this is a testimony to what we're facing. It's to not give up when it seems hard, to not give up when everything is stacked against you. I believe in faith that together we can do this. So it's not only just to say thank you, God, but it's also to say thank you to the youth out there who have the underlying belief that you can make a difference. So as much as we're now going to be thanking the government of Grenada for all the assistance that they've done, the Grenada Tourism Authority, the people who organize the catering, the Presbyterian Church for all your assistance, and the support of my family, and for all the organizations out there who have tirelessly been behind us, supporting us, and saying to us, we got your back, and that together we can change the world. I want to say to one and all, thank you. Let us all be together the change we need to make this world a better place. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Hoshialik, for such a short and spicy vote of thanks. It was a pleasure hosting you this morning. Again, my name is Abigail Ellis. Thank you for attending. Like Mr. Hoshialik said, we do look forward to your continued prayers, support, input, constructive criticism as we take this movement to where we know it can be. Ladies and gentlemen, have a good morning. Pardon me? Thank you. No problem. Okay, yes, I am Abigail Ellis, proud daughter of Grenada. I would say I'm a Deputy CARICOM Youth Ambassador, National Youth Ambassador, and also the Country Coordinator for the Caribbean Youth Environment Network here in Grenada. I also do multiple other initiatives such as Nation Builders. You may know of the WASH program, which is currently eradicating pit latrines in Grenada. I'm a part of that team. I also have my own NGO where I do a lot of work, which is focused on addressing the Sustainable Development Goals, like His Excellency said. Former teacher by profession, current youth coordinator by profession, and just your simple youth and climate advocate. So that's me in a nutmeg shell. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it. We do have some refreshments at the back, so please don't run off. Use this opportunity to network, connect with each other, and of course, we're going to eat outside. We're going to respect the chapel. It's downstairs. I believe, yeah, I'm not too au fait with the building, but it is downstairs. So we're going to go straight out the back. You're going to take a left turn and you're going to head downstairs. There are some refreshments waiting for you. Please don't run off. We want to engage with you. We want to meet with you. And of course, engage with our founders. Thank you, students. Thank you.
Now that the official proceedings are finished, I would love to make mention to an art piece that we have outside that persons, if you get an opportunity to look at, and we'll probably use the Instagram also to show persons outside, done by my daughter. But it's important to note that we all find activism in different ways. And this was part of her expression for a sea of plastic in terms of the global challenges we face, not only from climate change, but of the plastic deluge that keeps affecting our oceans and at the long run, affecting all of our well-beings. So please have a look outside at it and see how together we're going to change the planet. Thank you.